Malungil total mergal ureng sa Eco Paradise FM Palau Wave Radio. Kimal mereng asulem mo sabem el tunin moreng sa tial next el press conference lobangela president Ramusaw tiang amo wana regel elal press conference engyal mutul madim de rawan el press conference elal mel Wednesday ra January 20. Magi malol ngit na mal morong sitial press conference relal tutaw lembeto kadir ngarnil geredan momdanger other belaw era pol merektial temela administration ar musaw so mal ngat na tele president musaw banget diregal ngania minister health Dr. Mice Roberts ma minister of finance lelbul sadang ngania special aviation advisor MPIC Mr. Peter Paloy diregal ngania Minister Education el Dr. Sinton Solablay gidam dek lang wa PhD niya education dire kalomangela presidente ngatiang ma minister senator elect lumi sangbaw ma minister state el Tinaru Marak dire gidia cabinet presidente lomangele malungil tutan merga presidente kimolit bomwa smretar press conference rela tuta
sulang Mr. Salvador malungil total mergaw ma members sa media ngartiang musa kambes ma Bernadette ma Miss Leilani Reclay tirgal technical staffer ngartiang malungil total legor kami maral tiam second to the last so the akong longitra other belaw bolsib il joiner gir selmo last press conference gidra January 20 on the Lurior. I think we can make arrangement and make ourselves available el girsegi del silse. Dito ko ra marmara lubong le Salvador I'm very happy to say was ngaria direct betok lungil ay sel mo sabi irtigal ministers el share lo get. But before we move further why gelbek press conference gid ngutial te alle do ringa asulela ruwak Dios damalmol mal COVID-free selba akkertial pandemic el marmar el alsils sabedal continue to do what we need to do kuk ngamadawal ra PSL government el meso iso malosus ra ibdul marklay ma bilung ma everklay marbek el dalal mar sila blur belaw gidrogul other belaw ngar alsel Michael belaw. Again, happy New Year still. Maybe before ngawlaw sa Minister Roberts, di quickly ko ay sa Salvador was ako tulurior el 3MA el kapsing labuy. Ingoram lam matibra arbeklaad including President-elect, Vice President-elect, incoming government. Pododakal beklaade do dersia blur belaur loyaga National Day of Prayer. Sengara la gire motorgok la talsil sa alsela kotelbuil ekodugo o dersia blur belaur arangalela rakal mora arubak. Every year we have to do this National Day of Prayer. Auldas as a member of the League January 18. Batial te alle malmang madawra roguil adal tira mo sa iril me join ra ang rulmuth ra 8 o'clock ra tutaw. Ra kotulurior el 3MA el kapsingila kotulbuil. Gelbek lida blad inviter til May. Marbek national, traditional, state leadership, direct the inviter till May. Of course, ministers, directors, chiefs, government, direct May. Tirgel sabi may join. Bododakal beklade doder siya abaluad lo yaktial National Day of Prayer. Direct el alsil sira silbo da merektial press conference gidra through mataklok marulo ay sira kasing mo sabi dal medyo energida ambassador Miguel, ambassador Australia, ambassador Siabal kada mo saying sel lurior mong mo sabel lo mu la talentangi laurior el girel tel second submarine cable ergiden la momrek sel resolution lo sabel la olbi el dolngit tertir matokong ngi ya tirgi la toer el altutao lo aseng mo sabel la siabal el guk saying el mogut mekli sel ngalir ma Australia am la kongi ma Amerika am la kongi makadmot makal partners gut mekli sa gid el maklaw tutlel toera telecommunication el ngia moringa ongerul seng ara fiber optic submarine cable el moling kergid el morablulad so in case Salvador en ngaringa typhoon malubeng ngidil luuleng mo mtuksel ngaringir el al time abela dia kabol ngara il gol kamalube bol melo el waya amladub el morabebi rablu raigal namo brek el rak kada mil sa saibal el millo da agable ertir matamlo dia ka communication ertir outside for the longest period of time ngalakra talbui direct mil swara blura marshal el melo da cable ertir meng ablur belawa agire del kut mekli del modia kal boda au wai shegi del te al sum matamal tel I Moldova and then in the adil question resiliency mal uben baka ape Salvador direl mongusugi dra expansion omgu gra auspa lela tora telecommunications lega na mo mdengel waseng mal to te al ra shobai te al ra rule te al ra muter clolus pa lela tora telecommunication etial system langania eventually mo msekate mo muy girel ngari te gidalong erul el cable nya mo klar ngula kombali ma tok te alra business opportunities lo se de borbela kata da selva akle e de abod awa wa gidal emergency situations nak invite mer adra medium da join 11 o'clock al girel si mada el al time evok ngua te alam sa Minister Roberts Maradal kada COVID free Salvador el melmuter el alsils that's the most we can ask for hindi kada madengel waseng gire dal motmok gid el gire la sab klel tial toera COVID direct closi krolel mo sebel del open up abor der gid el gire la toera siobay makarul sel blada adu ringi TV regal na momrek el Sunday mabui la se sel kotel mo sob klida adar belau ulgum mo sob del nguti al vaccine el me ngu rusotrira ar adar belau ko singile to kail ba center adar belau mo sob in brus seguide gidaman mo sob el klarngut sel ba akla e mo open up border gidele ko na mo dengel baseng ko mlangu sel orus el mo prevent ar adar belau mendia ka bolsera al sumung soy sabanti al rakta direct mo sabira adar belau guk travel outside el mo klar ngud lo sea al blad nguti al orus the travel moraiga ar wakwam saibal ma shabal ngel tal ngari ga gid raktri e kada selba akl sabe edal base kada protected malubi kada mlanguti al preventive medicine mang agagida so kal dikbung bo askra Minister Roberts man share status mawil aisel mergid
sulang presidente malungit tutaw ado belau rogui tuta Salvador kambes Bernadette ma lenani mal ada media rogui yegi de blaldu presidente de mrenga sula rubak dios ngal tangat el merelang el diraga musmer the good news is kating lose the first batch vaccine say 2,800 doses enough for 1,400 talab. As of today the numbers are 725. By this Saturday egidamla finishes sale tigegid 1,400. On top of that, another good news, Klugu APA cargo flight is bringing in another 3,200 doses. And that's enough for 1,600 people. sel bolmada ka gigil two we're talking 3,000 sel complete again 3,000 other below amla marus. That's like 20% of the population again if we're saying 15,000 to 20,000. Di regel el alto tao ambassador americana me contacta la vice presidente de me con tu tao de con another good news other americana say region 9 United States Public Health Service tel gidang sa region 9 ito offer team direct sa ilme on sa gid vaccinate wala ba additional 10,000 doses on top of that tenado de ma presidente mla con el ambassador americano so tomo start ko real gid sa gid el malarti say bol moda we're talking 8,000 people no mo 50% of the population still bol moda game so far gid ahora win news diré que cambes arada dinne badakta morgo da stata umrus di up to now dirga ka adal mal mosmer ma dirga ka adal ko mal hita chosengi nganya bebe algo así togamlo saula badingir que diré que wasen tial dakta diré que se emru law dia ka liweme mo ko saula badingir di so far it's been very good response to the population. Of course, sel gira da qualdi onitra other rogu tige de galorus momo clormud sel da bora sel temel omrus ela tangara ngania gel days ngara national gym ngania gel days hospital kundi umesa follow the schedule di albebi time tergib slow aurior le trigger adana se mal modo okle explain ling betonga adra blue ngania questions utir ngania gel terms el kukir el tiar vaccine el legal understand ara mata mo explain el baby that time so era imorado dong okol mo 10 minutes to asi tigang ara tam sao ding sige ding yeda mal mo clear all the sweat e morgong e mongu orus serbo domre get observe again and make sure in dia side effect e morgo really sige within 15 minutes ngari arm lego nga tigel mal severe allergy la shellfish yal seafood ma shellfish ma bebira batengel akar era tigel population group sel borsegid temela interview si ildi furgaw was in der molarni el al time es either schedule wait tigel al mora ansela emergency room malu tomo a short admission hospital e morgo ng mga vaccine ko observe to make sure hindi ka matamal ay of course ang ani allergy ko ko spe agar reversing at the same time dire nga ni tigel mal severe allergic reaction ng mo buto ko morgo le no na sa Introductory sel domes and there's been a few mal makasay rate allergy tigel numbers ngara 1 million it's like 10 to 11 other per million tigel mal severe hindi so far kita bela mal basay dirga ka hopefully hindi ka away sige mo kloro de utangal follow a schedule kadi other UOC amru na schedule other rogu top hopefully tigel rogu girin mo vaccine should get it in palo di mo kloro de as long the karakter the utangal oila vaccine of course hindi ka kalbonya COVID Salvador hindi get on best situation of the continue campus limaran there's been second wave and third waves in certain areas especially Blue Ramrigel Shaval of course Korea they're having big outbreaks mas Shaval Guam Asaiwala continue to have cases going in. The Temla started vaccinated. They're on track. Lately, additional to deaths last few days ago, Guam, so now they're up to 124 of them. So they continue to have fatalities. Even though we're safe and continue the strict measures that we're doing. especially now, if we relax to, before we get all vaccinated, hindi rin nga niya risk. Hindi rin nga niya question sa other ogel was elasil musel ko tulorus nga mo safe sa emel contact nga niya smear edi apom se hindi rin nga niya te level mo smear self first vaccine omngu hindi rin ka mong protected. Ira mengu selong erung, and then 7 days after that, kita wasin el protector ko. Ikadomes elara, I got news nga niya adel mlang ilo vaccine wa elang. A few days later, they got sick, positive. And of course, hindi kasi will happen. Hindi tigigid el so far hindi ka mother term. Hopefully, hindi mo wiraw mong cloud to trail elang kita we're on track to get everybody vaccinated, probably first in the world to do it like the makasay. Hindi say so clear, hindi at the same time suma another huliping another Siaban another Taiwan at Lorus, there's still that risk asis pa other smear dukmo pasartir. We have to look around us and make sure other rogoy are safe before we really open the borders. Kadang kaya to continue ay gaya the measures of the rule. Maria aldadul mangela Taiwan renal girela get quarantine days at tier the bureaucrats me. Last meeting and they agreed to cut down to 5 days from 14 days till Taiwan. Hopefully that's going to kick in with this flight. Ilang nga niya flight el mera 14 el Manila smer nga niya 38 el adel Manila el mora grul nga niya 35 el return. Elas el quarantine na al really green mo niya ada Taiwan tigil passengers nga Taiwan mem 7 days. Hindi nego aldado as assume takatan mo 5 days, we may cut down to 5 days also and see hindi nga niya gigil test that they have to take. Other nga Taiwan may ang tester say I'll get the tell them to test it after quarantine them to test to make sure safe. At the same time tigil nga tang maral mit test yang alba Taiwan at quarantine 5 days test before they let them out. Close to train like the testing and they were with and we have to continue doing it. Ilang direct nga niya you say the concern that inauguration is coming up next week. Nga niya delegation Taiwan in May. Mong tiwai last week nani tigel terul toktang ra CDC Taiwan CDC mle evaluate the relal kuktirel tagi the number earlier dignitaries til May. Osingir ra to it's pretty safe. So it's safe. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, my delegation in May, they kamal macro restrictions. The only thing that's concerning we have to on our end, of course, we're going to do preventive measures to make sure that Tuarak and the Taiwan still has cases. Cases going in, container, so they're safe. The early 2 cases in the community. Toktang manurs positive. But there's cases in Taiwan. We had to take all the precautions. In fact, may delegations and most likely they're coming. And we have to continue the preventive measures, social distancing. Of course, umdas in the mahitabo do mask, the macro second and soon to me. And of course, personal hygiene. Close to trail, we have to be vigilant. So far, we have done our best. And vaccine is on track. But so hopefully, relax too soon. The safe time and open up everything. When I get or ice lang, brief Southern Marine is el groundbreaking ng Ramlumoy. El regil dispensary na sa tauler Raplilio, 25 and sa tauler long mga Ramlumoy. Yung dispensary mo renovated, mo ba yung manungin. Yung
So lang Minister Roberts. So basically, sa gidi mol mission keep Palau COVID free, administer as fast and as expansive as possible. Tial vaccination efforts ra Blue Belaw. We continue to combine el tool, el target sergit. I know in area Karmul Girel in the interest of time may gulngitra Peter Paloy madil quickly brief regid I schedule the flights ma transportation at time and
Sula, Mr. President, total mga media. Quickly, United confirm semera Sunday night 11:40 p.m. Mara Monday morning 1:10 a.m. Ese ferry in live out. Sila cargo nga Guamal May. Isi passengers ma cargo lo bukol nga velol mora kwam. China Airlines segid mera kluugol mera 2:40 p.m. Medical charter. Google Takar Admiral ma Taiwan wukti part 4:10 p.m. So the day flight di mera afternoon. And then nga initial military skogi el C1 Dori se mera sabado ngol Takar Artei mal adel guk memru la radar soldar egal airfield rangeo ma Balilio madrigal baby rauriol polorura airport. Ega quick update egel kal skogi el al week. Es el next week ang kanya es el update mo ay sir ada media temela skogi ma.
Okay. Sula Peter Paloy. Finally the Askra Minister sadang mulkora quickly kukul ibiskit ya lungil reporter lalngura.
Saule President malung total korkau ma Will on. Am sulay President malung total korkau ma mora Salvador ma ley metigal adra media. Salvador kita madengel waseng Yale pasetra 2021 totangalil waseng mlo under continuing resolution belkula seka dos per sel level ra pasetra gidra 2020 malmol marngil mora 2021 al 6 months mangogiu se gidel paset authority kita opang en waya blel authorize appropriate 102.2 million and they divide ring ira 2 months mo 6 months ay kadaw sparingil wada rutra kabelmenter git ma sel first quarter gidra as of December 31st say gidal korablel bigik ringil sa kadamolok kem daw do de model di swadalo ay sala sia sel dungura ku collection ra revenue gidra local revenue mesilis bengara 20% bengara kadamle estimate ra 67.1 million kita melakukan elektra 13.3 million mga rasa kita ngara 21% ding overall ra kuk tungura revenue kita kada ngara ngoyal 100.2 million na budget lel budget ringe kita kolekta 18.3 mong overall nga waldil 18% sel tungura expense kita Salvador en Sadalo ay so sia executive branch el guksel budget ringi 47.9 million amlo iloita 9 million ungwal ngara 19% expense executive branch ya dungura overall government ngwal 17% overall expenditures overall government sel domes regel wal actual collection regida revenue ma actual expenditures regida ngaria little bit over 600,000 sel wal kora variance malubeng mudo dal madel kita malmol lasing mangug selgi mo mesengi ya gel protection kita economy kita malmol mal sebel tartial ligerit sel mesengi ngara soal mo ngara between 7% shortfall and this gidel kuk mo ngara lisen next government mela setamo makaral kuk polo las sel budget tira 2021 most pe ay gil other financing el mo mot mukring Ya, di summary lagi di report tak mo siya ng ilabang gumera da media mo kung mga detail ng ulat tubadi mara rata blue belo.
So in other words, Minister, I got 4 quarter sila tara.
Yes, kita.
So 1 quarter at 3 months, il gire de los isbia 25% ra osis balelaw do. We're standing at 18%
overall.
Osis balelaw do. Ya guk spending ang katangara 17%. Gire will spend up to 25% and the spending ang the 17%. Ya o guk mulsisbia 18%. Ay gel ngal sang sel 18 na 25 ay gel lola already alone ang aring lola mo umira ngal sang sel ay so the balance is according to projections ma ra osis balel ma o mangitelaw do
ay kamal di nga ay gel actual collection self financing ringil ay self reserve fund ringi da may gel loan na dekal included that
ay mal di gel calculate was ay mo umalangit ay gel ngal sang sel ay Okay, I think with that, directly, quickly, Minister, kadi mo ay tell us quickly, mawira balo kira.
Sulang Presidente, Ma'am Saul Beklad. Tiang over there na mo 1 year, maybe close to 2 years, ito luwari nga Presidente. Finally, ang mga sabi gut maklil o special ngesor sa grant ra India. Siramande ng ulmo la finally with all the preparation ng ulmo ulsel BSL program ra Palau High School music class. Siya mura 11th grade 16 students siringi with all the needed instrument. Lamgat mo kuma music teacher ang ngaringi. Normal it's an exciting development. It's a formal course nga mo actually tamsubra instrument ma music mang agidel mal excited ngi for 11th grade 16 students sa ngi so far ng ayar ngal namamulo saxophone selo do our principal tiga iga instrumental we have all that talent out there din dia ka a support system lo seura agidel talent musically inclined ngal school so we have a lot of hope pag sa program mo sabira ngal mal mo well rounded sila to darwa Palau High School kumsulang.
So we're looking forward to the day guk ngari marching band ra Plurbelau ma kaigal do sa big band program sibil those pair team da di dola bandra na one navy marwa sold out sel talbor guk mornya bandra PHS sula minister kami ngidil kire like guk nambu
tuta president kaumar ministers adigri kamor minister Rahel Minister, at this rate, sel dulungoring lo siya by April, ang law reach sel target ko lagi ng 80. Ali? Kadang law sel target ko lagi ng 83% vaccination. Siya are you on track?
Lologoy, ambassador. Indefinitely serada adagot lomo uli amne togo ilmera narsegid OWS el office operation warp speed tamil go was digo te meskida 30,000 doses which is actually 15,000 people hindi segid reality siya pa start divide yang en one mo klo ang rambrigel so they cut it down mon mo wabling leda wal 2,800 doses a month. So we got the first one. Yeah, let's take the second one in Merakluguk. Indeed, they added a little bit more, so it's 3,200. And the Ambassador Miguel was we can get another 10,000. Definitely at Sugum we maintain it at pace. Feel assured. Yeah.
The last quick question. Kamusta sel tial reduction right Taiwan namo 5 days di nga rin sel latest liga CECC luasay namo dia sel because of the new variant etem la close borders siyang upline mergi dal ubang magarang
elang sagi mada do we're COVID free elang tirgel teru la CDC mle as el merstang assess basically they had a very good perception rule they questioned a lot of things in the even though they say COVID free still ngaring sigil what's going on here they feel very confident and, that we're actually doing things right and COVID again. The only thing that they recommended was go by publicize a young marada omes and they feel assured. Then ilang nga nagigil dahil dal top da other public health but now they're limited. Kung di mo na ang gasay la. To kasi mo to social media marada omes ibol bagay. Was Belau is COVID free. They plan to cut quarantine days to Taiwan 5 days instead of 14. And say they're taking it slowly. We have to appreciate what they're doing. And of course, Taiwan is not COVID free. There's cases going in, so that's how they catch people. See the strict measures that they do. They were willing to. They're not willing, but they agreed to go 5 days. Was a domicile from there. At the same time, and I gave them additional vessel cages at Taiwan. And I think it's very, very important to be more strict. Sige da close to that. At the same time, give them relax. We have to maintain. And I'll give continue 14 days Adam Miguel, matigil na common May. Hindi we cut down na Taiwan. Hindi ko naman sa situation na sumo. Continue more niya cases within the community. And then we have to really tighten up the measures again, just to be safe.
Minister, as you said, Taiwan is not COVID-free. So there is a scheduled high-level delegation from Taiwan to attend the inauguration. And I understand the quarantine will be done away. So is that your recommendation, and how safe do you think Palau will be from this high-level visit from Taiwan?
Actually, it's not my recommendation. In fact, we insisted, since the inauguration is far, still there was days. Why didn't they come and quarantine 7 days, and then we test them and then do? But these high-level people don't have time to do that. So from the request of the Taiwan government, they says we cannot do that, but we send the guys from CDC to come and assess and see, and then we'll try to follow all the protocols that you guys can put in place. So, to try to minimize the risk, even though there's no quarantine, we told them you guys have to do some self-isolation in Taiwan prior to coming, and then at the same time you get tested 14 days before you leave Taiwan. You get tested within 24 hours or within 48 hours of departure. When you land over here, we test you again, and then you get tested before you leave. So, we're trying to minimize the risk, because it's something that, it's needs to be done at the high level. It's a high level function, and they need to do it. Of course, safety of the population and is paramount. So we really don't want to risk anybody getting sick. But at the same time, we need to get it done. So we're putting in these extra measures just to get it done, and hopefully, we can get by safely.
Minister Rahel Mr. President Wadim Dela 10 minutes morning sile virtual conference giret sil signing ceremony ma sumari ako raw luwang sa mutar press conference.
Malmasulang President Kamar Minister Sakmal malas maldiori ada question of the one or two. Minister Robert, the two question. One Ambassador sel possibility team nga region 9 el merbelaw ngari ako ra timetable el lam ko omesringi ya ongero nga ngora question el melsadra ko el sela press conference lo mangela president elect sel kung pula saying 2,800 el vaccines amneris tingilay gidi 1400 talat. A question say aigel el 28 ngaraman da kam administer mo at 2800 talade since you have incoming vaccines kukal selbol temela selbol 28 tem administer mo tirgay gidel Ngaltang lang nga medical explanation for that, and the same question and will raise ringi. Last question imora minister sa dang lo say sel 18% del collection revenue first quarter. What percent of that income tax? Given lo sa cross acta ta kabolor mumarika al January 31st mo nga impact ngira kuk second quarter collections malubeng guardia ka mal significant impact ng hindi questions lang or committee ministers.
So lang Excel offer a region 9 Ambassador Miguel say within 24 hours we have to give them a response. It is scheduled and they're scheduled to come for a month. Tumelong na Seoul vaccinate sige del team made up of doctors and nurses from region 9. Mung Cell set a schedule say we'll come back and let the media know announce our blue. At the same time sige del guk sige del sell, 2,800 doses, we only give 50%. Say, basically, in the really our decision, say, recommendation that tigil mosquito vaccine, do it. Ulmong mal telefonita next batch mera oingrang, then we can do it. Hindi we'll give first dose and we'll go the second but second dose enough for vaccine. So we want to make sure we complete the doses as we go. The reason why it's good to do that, we're still COVID free. So we might as well complete as we go. Nobody left hanging. The rules are 2,800. It will mail a shipment to sell the next one. Time we miss out because we have the time frame to do it. So just to do it safe, we do it. We have a small population, so we should get by okay. Yeah.
Saulele sel lo mesra te report ya gross revenue tax rigida peda collecta 21%. Ya wages and salaries peda collecta 30%. Del wages and salaries ulmang klo CLWIOA adiregal pea wages and salary tax. Del cross act diregal complementa pea del wages and salary tax. Adiguk good news lea agel selmeu daso sa governmenta amina private sector model harawa tax tira tumlo malmol malharaw ndim nakaloru la agreement tirokul malmol malmeharaw on a timely manner mungo otil wasya ngungil diaklungil maral ndi ngarngi activity ra mang tilal molgornil sang modelo ra cross acta remain alwasan tegidar besel adro bilbo tumo omesangi lendiregal malkloa al ngaswil for instance tigel ngarsel duduk mong work tigel overall ngal drura PBA more than 700 lab LD 600 madarngela aterbela del guk ngara cross acta diregal more than 100 lower ngara al selsia aterbela abay di sel merengalela tel program rigida sem selbol meregal mostop tel cross actor ngi etigel ngara over 2000 el adrangod al blua abul taswal leng modya ka income bertir mendagdo ngela setamo tumong ma ausyungel adlang aklir kerel mo molasyor adlang aklir.
Okay, la medic telitiagi del etia policy question. Ngwal kora domesing adigyal sabi ela olbira lulaw mo rulia extension rtial cross up yang marma ender tial guk ngutru il government. Mang policy question ra ngutru matang alwasing tumo include ra adal dial other belaw al ubet ya hukmal di mo girir other belaw. Di tiagi de Salvador guk mle policy decision ergid alwase omsin de tirgal dial other belaw e orior ngara cross up. Employees are other belaw. So it's not totally wase gida diol ngaseo ra other ngud albuluin merkong. Kadol ngaseo ra business owner, ma employer niya other belaw, yung ra artirgal foreign employees. Ongerung. Mlablatak kilmer kamam loya ka business community ra Chamber of Commerce mabelaw Tourism Association alwase mal meringil sel gimol durok kurtirgal adal moray krebelaw e bo kimlu tel restart ta shobar kamam egu kimlu tel malar adal may to restart ra siobay abay costly om recruiter ar BSL adal may rabay dosi krolel el ngaria partnership ra kabelment loban tirgal adam dil ngara al sel bela la kadol tobertir si ongerum ongedei kita sel omes sel revenue report ra Ministry of Finance a tax and wages a 30% ngil ngalak ra 25% el the bled expecter ngira at taxira adalor why because etta adrangod el blue man other bela mot magedim larnya karngir but the pair say the wages and salary maul men sab ela kabalment tel collect trabay metialudo dal mutel kair el mergid not only that because in employment travelur belaw et ngania top drudo del mora social security mamora pension plan mamora a health insurance ling sel lakaw ma el employment travelu en dia kaudo del minus el moray gay gidel toy meng kidam le consciously gada make a decision el wase dia kadi mom dasar other belaw godom dasar employees ra other belaw adra ngot el belu and then sel mo ungewang ungei belu uleng kadagilngay tiagida belur belaw mang at o araw la ungil kameldi la ungil maray la stoang ungil maray la restaurant da ungil maray la ara la bento ungil maray la ara la klalo ungil maray lengarinya karngira adel edi kal si to dra belur belong tmoy tawdo el support taigal le economy ra belur belaw of course hindi ka covid maul mong sabi edel move freely spend tawdo I just want to caution el waseng mema de direct lo mesra a reputation ra belur belaw len mal beto ka belur adel direct ngara borderline human rights violations mal uwen lo dakal sabiil take care ra adrangod belur ra belurir esir albol ngari covid etdigila imorir tir our business amlele offer adrir matabadrat kulara le ol sangareng le mo o ngitangi sa Red Cross o ngitangi sa Abdul Adel kire lakalir only in Palau egadamara lo tir kli sel rengra akli ibelaw mota akla ade kadong oswir ma abul ada dong oswir ma rengra kristiano ra adel belaw ilda kadesa adel mo abul ibon dong adrangod el blue ay gagi der rengam lo o partra palisia gigut makli meng korabeo tel toya omrang sia adal ngara drual wase ngaram kodom dasar adrangod el blue e dia kadom dasar adel belaw well til algera al amu cloud to trail olgum dia kadom dasar adel belaw dom dasar adrangod el blue digida already kadam lango sutria adel belaw e direct sab edel mo sutria adrangod el blue so ay ga erul tokoil marael dia ka adel el ngasong sila gidel lol ngaseorar adrangod el blue meng aklumutan mo makatikli sel toya kambe sel ko mese ko dir ko rar ti al shore kamiu ay gel ngesora marigel adia ka lior belaw lomsang ko demro so obli le lior tra basela dalang aklela at ay ganga unemployment kulureor ediga urerem leng lamo dia ka karengela siobar ka lo ka tourism therefore ka mangesora a kabelment either en kabelment tamrigel malub en kabelment trablur belaw dia ka diom rusel audo del mora a obli la malub en morar del tira mata arbesrir le tiatora unemployment economic hardships el create unemployment trablu e kadamo a giredro tobdang eso I think en direkal gulngit mam da sam aklisel toilen nga direct proud del other belaw ngaria msisi ngukul other belaw kristiano mundial soa ka adrelia situation el belaw akora mo dia kalom karreorar akora mo makitrar bay dia kadang sutria sio bay other belaw bay rulim momring because anytime you restart a business it's more expensive than what we're doing right now. Maybe not so much for the government. Dingel other belaw lo siobay is going to go through a lot of expenses just to begin again. Say dia so adal makata clear tial. Finally, edik makata clear waseng moklar ngude Salvador tial aigal vaksin ako te ol sabi edel malay ko ngil malay beklad. Ang erung mal direk dir klo a seba krengar ad selbe lo la vaksin ad ngire de mud du urtil kilo arenrir nsera el question urtil. Tianga viagal gora factory match production el di moldu para ad el tmu korusula ula imala ade ulo tbedir arbay. No. A lot of people are very concerned. Mal gora apprehensive. Mas high blood til lomdas wasinda maamlar ti alorus ngara impact ngin mera mung gerdire germeng sa kora mal lo brao del toy lo asing ngara mendia kamur di tiang ngara mendia kal mukot bre dal mukot mokul tiang ding moklar ngudalin ngaringi ya direct lungil lurbat telel matletelela atoy Eli, I want to share with you. Eli kadamla na Zoom conference lo bangela Presidenta Nauru, ma Marshall, ma Giribas, ma FSM. FSM mabayin lang mo rin case sa COVID. Di thankfully di mlaradial lan mo ra FSM lo sabil isolate ringi test ringi make sure hindi kalbora balu. Di direct lang ma COVID mal slow compare el mertial loru ringi adater belaw. Nga kabay ulit tirgi doon si bodo taurenga sulir tirgal nga ra frontline. Taurenga sulir ar adra hospital el direct el continue loror ol tau tertial. A minister mar adalam la kong el mo as kaigal private clinic. Yano kwarte STA tirgel sabiir mo direct al mo par tertial loror loban tirgel adra CDC sel lager US CDC sel lager. Ikatal mutal mo mes asin kadam garang emre dalor aditial el tela el sugum ngordang di manlewila kari melel wasing ngaraman dia kadil dungwa 10,000 ul ngurus trirar adra one time adi problema selu kung erul daw al sugum mo dia kalme ngalakra ay gelu ml klipse nguk mlamo dia ka tutlela yel ko telorus el mangilay. So we'll continue to work with what we have altang la asoro di ensure klar mo dun win niya sinde ka COVID man dia kamsal ukmal wase kamadrak lugu o la kamutial lorus el sel erung del Sunday. We continue to be free but asmaril tiang di recognize ra 47th anniversary ra skura ibobang kamil adra media actually tiang aling ibobang schools tara mauul mong social support sel character education el niya part rakli ibelaw mausis akra wil klaf lobanggela dura im madura rengra urior igida part traskura modake ma ibobang community el Southern Militia ya urior am lastat lobanggela Ministry of Education ma igida school lo asing makarang kada continue ko exist malubi kata kambayan ay igida el teletime el alsil sing tugubet el sil sa Jennifer Kumangay Annabel Madris Masub da Skobong Constance Kremius Maklay da Yali Welmar tirgaya guk ngara special holiday border tir kada malore ngara tugubet sil sa morti always Salvador gure nga suliw invite ra adam beljoner gider sel molast el National Day of Prayer el guk el tialong tru el complement ra Monday January 18 ra 9 a.m. malas the press conference gider January 20 next Wednesday. Okay? Kumansang.
Sulange Mr. Presidente palaw media cancel invite ra mo gathering tira Friday ma por subir a media mutiking el mercado seguido Friday ra elamer morgira usingay mum de das musula Mr. President e que moren asulim no subilo ring sa press conference relal total
all bow our heads. Thank you for blessing us with this day, and we ask that you, and for keeping our country COVID free, and we continue to ask for your blessings upon us. For all of this, we pray in Jesus' name, amen. At this time, I would like to call upon Mr. Gayobel Sakuma to give us the welcoming remarks.
Malungil tutaw, morgmi rogui. Good morning and a very happy new year to everybody here. My name is Gayobel Sakuma and I'm the chairman of the Belao Submarine Cable Corporation. I'd like to begin by recognizing His Excellency President Rangmangasao and all the distinguished guests that took the time today to join us, and without whose vision and foresight this effort to connect Palau to the world would not have been achieved. On behalf of Belao Submarine Cable Corporation, board and staff, I would also like to thank and recognize President-elect Whips, Senator Inabo, Delegate Ralulg, and all representatives of the OEK who are here today. I would also like to recognize Ambassador Turner of Australia, Ambassador Karasawa of Japan, and Ambassador Hennessy Nyland of the United States for their country's generous support, as well as the support from Ministers Sadang, Minister Obiang, and Mr. Marug, as well as the Attorney General, and all those whose efforts and perseverance have been instrumental in progressing us to where we are now. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a significant milestone in the realization of a stronger and more resilient structure for telecommunications in Palau. The deployment of a second, more robust fiber optic cable will not only allow for better connection to the world, but will secure Palau as a hub for dependable, high-speed connectivity in the Pacific, and in turn will allow us to diversify our economy beyond tourism. The Belao Submarine Cable Corporation's first and foremost priority is to improve the lives of Palauans through high-speed connectivity. And as we've learned in 2020, information and communication technology resilience is a very important part of that. The Palau Cable 2, or PC2 project as we call it, is the final keystone in BSCC's strategy to deliver on our mission. Ladies and gentlemen, today's signing marks the end of the development phase and the beginning of the implementation. And we're confident that like PC1, we can achieve implementation on time and under budget. On behalf of BSCC's Board of Directors, I'd like to thank the financiers who've made PC2 a reality, the Republic of Palau and the United States government for the compact funds, Japan Bank for International Cooperation, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, and Export Finance Australia for the depth funding. And lastly, USAID and Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility for the Pacific for the grant funding. The financing solution is solid, and we're confident that BSCC is well capable of delivering what's expected, both in terms of construction and ongoing operations from 2023. Once again, on behalf of BNCC, I'd like to thank you all, and I'd like to now ask Ambassador Turner to offer some remarks from the Australian perspective.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson Sakuma, for your very kind words. Ali, Tatao, good morning and Happy New Year to all here today. I'd like to, on behalf of the ambassadors, acknowledge His Excellency President Ramangasau Jr., His Excellency President-elect Whips Jr., Honourable Ministers Sedang, Obiang and Maruk, Honourable Senator and delegates, Attorney General for all the work that has been undertaken in the effort of this project, and His Excellencies Ambassador Karasawa, Ambassador Hennessy Neeland, Chairman, of course, of Palau Submarine Cable Corporation, and all the BSCC board members we have with us here today. As well, on WebEx and around the room, our very many distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. COVID-19 has underscored the importance of reliable, affordable, resilient internet connectivity. We've seen family and friends catching up on WhatsApp and FaceTime, schools and universities delivering classes online, medical specialists meeting weekly via Zoom, and international and bilateral meetings and events such as this today via WebEx and other platforms. In addition, with the arrival of the first submarine cable in 2017, PC1, telecommunication connectivity in Palau has experienced rapid growth in access to and use of digital infrastructure. As of January last year, there were over 17,000 internet and social media users here in Palau, or 94% of the population using the internet. With this increase in internet traffic, the requirement for sustainable and affordable backup capacity is vital. In 2019, Palau identified the ECHO cable network as a viable trunk option to develop a second cable with a view to creating the required resilience. At this stage, Palau approached both the Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility for the Pacific, AIFP, and the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JBIC, to partner in the development of a second cable for Palau. However, in response to challenging economic circumstances as a result of COVID-19, Palau and Australia had to demonstrate flexibility in maintaining momentum on the project by reserving a connection to the ECHO cable network. This was secured in early 2020 with the commitment of financing from Australia to cover the marine survey and a branching unit. This financing provided time to secure additional partners to tailor a financial package that responded to the economic challenges of COVID-19 while still realising the connection to the ECHO cable. With Palau and under our trilateral infrastructure partnership with Japan and the United States, a package of support has been secured which responds to the economic pressures of COVID-19 while addressing Government of Palau's priority for national resilience. This partnership demonstrates our collective will and capacity to pool resources and provide high-quality, sustainable, critical infrastructure that serves the genuine needs of the people of Palau. PC2, or Palau Cable 2, will ensure reliable, secure, digital connectivity that in turn will support private sector growth, government services, new investment, and improve Palau's resilience to COVID-19 impacts. Your Excellencies, partners, friends, colleagues, today is a celebration and a demonstration of the strength of our partnership, cooperation, and shared interests and values. Infrastructure projects such as this lie at the heart of our collective vision for a secure, stable, open and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Australia, of course, is very pleased to support Palau's vision to strengthen its connectivity to the global internet and looks forward to working with Palau, Japan and the US to ensure the expected project benefits are realised. Mesalang and thank you. I'd now like to take the opportunity to pass to Ambassador Karasawa for his short remarks.
Ali, Gustavo Elogui, Ohayou gozaimasu. Morning. His Excellency President Meng Sao, His Excellency President-elect Whips, other distinguished guests, not only here in Palau, but also in Japan, the US, and Australia. I am very delighted to be here with all of you for this very special signing ceremony. First of all, I must say that this project is very symbolic as one of the trilateral cooperation between Japan, the US, and Australia in the context of a free and open Indo-Pacific. This project was formally announced in October last year by 3 foreign ministers of 3 countries together, which was politically very something special. From Japan's side, $8 million of loan in total is provided by JBIC and SMBC for this project. Moreover, I'd like to stress that NEC, Japanese IT giant, is involved in the project as a cable provider. NEC has a long-standing history of manufacturing cable, and its experience proves the resilience and quality service. I believe that NEC's cable will massively help Palau with its reliable information security. I am sure that this project will be a huge success and will support Palau's economy for a long time in the future. Now let me ask Mr. Oya-san from JBIC in Japan to say a few words. Now I give the floor to Mr. Oya, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Caruso. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Ali to everyone. Now, it's a great honor to have this opportunity to speak to you, to the distinguished participants on behalf of JBIC. I'm Toshio Oya, Senior Managing Director in charge of Pacific countries and in charge of the trilateral partnership with Australia and the US. So I have lots of reasons for dedicating myself to Palau, to this project, and for celebrating today's event. Until today, so many Palauan people and its partners have worked together towards a common goal. On Japan's side, let me recognize our Japanese financial partners contributing greatly to this project, NEXI and SMBC. Now, we will see a result, but we're still halfway through a long process. We would like to see quality of life in Palau actually enhanced. JBIC will continue to work with Palau and its partners to complete this project successfully. All of us are going through difficult COVID challenges. Looking ahead, attracting foreign investment will be the key to restoring a sustainable growth of Palau. JBIC will continue to play a catalytic role as a matchmaker with Japanese companies and potential investors. Please do not hesitate to contact us. In closing, let me say congratulations to Mr. President Omedetou Daitorio. Thank you very much.
Ali Tutau, President Remagasau, President-elect Sir Wengel Whipps Jr., ministers, members of the OEK, ambassadors, honored guests, and the many friends of Palau. It is my great personal pleasure to join today's ceremony to mark the approval and the signing of the sovereign guarantees for the undersea cable project with the Republic of Palau. This trilateral partnership between the United States, Australia, and Japan, together with Palau, will secure the financing for the construction of a new state-of-the-art fiber optic cable valued at approximately $30 million. This project will connect to a new U.S. International Development Finance Corporation financed undersea cable, the world's largest and longest, spanning from Singapore to the United States. Palau's new spur will help ensure reliable, secure digital connectivity, and it is a vital new contribution to Palau's future prosperity. This project is delivered under the Trilateral Partnership for Infrastructure Investment in the Indo-Pacific, and we are proud to be a part of it. The U.S. government is providing its support in the form of a grant, not a loan, of $4.6 million for the project, including $3.8 million from the U.S. Agency for International Development and $800,000 from the U.S. government's Transaction Advisory Fund. And in addition, the Republic of Palau will be utilizing $7 million in the U.S. grant funding managed by the Department of Interior and made available under the Palau Compact Review Agreement between the United States and Palau. As a nation in free association with the United States, Palau should be congratulated for the substantial strides rebuilding and modernizing its telecommunications infrastructure. And I'd like to applaud the work of BSCC in that regard. In December 2017, with a loan provided by the Asian Development Bank, Palau connected to the Southeast Asia United States fiber optic submarine cable that also connects neighbors like Guam to Indonesia and to the Philippines, increasing available bandwidth by around 7 times, providing more than half of the population in the region with internet connectivity. Connection to this second cable will provide Palau with the bandwidth it needs to realize the economic and development benefits of increased and strengthened digital connectivity. For an economy that must diversify from its tourism base, this is important news. I also want to note that this project is part of the United States Pacific Pledge, a commitment to the Pacific Islands on their most pressing challenges, including economic and environmental resilience, maritime security, infrastructure, and good governance. Since the U.S. Pacific Pledge was announced, the U.S. has committed more than $300 million in the past year to the Pacific Islands. And I am particularly pleased to note today that Palau has agreed to join with the U.S. and other partners in the Clean Network. This will provide a trusted foundation for countries to protect their citizens' personal data, their businesses' intellectual property, and their own national security. To conclude, it is my great pleasure to be here to mark this historic occasion. Today, like last week, when the U.S. delivered the first batch of life-saving vaccines, the U.S. has been and always will be a friend and partner of Palau. Mesulong.
Thank you to Ambassador Turner, Ambassador Karasawa, and Ambassador Neeland, Hennessy Neeland. Before we move on to the next speaker, I would just like to recognize those who are on joining us for the meeting via WebEx. There's the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, the Nippon Export and Investment, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, Linklaters, Export Finance Australia, the Australian Infrastructure Financing Facility for the Pacific, the Office of Insular Affairs, the United States Agency for International Development. This time I would like to call upon His Excellency Tamiid Masao Jr., President of the Republic of Palau, for our special remarks.
Ungil tutau and good morning. Indeed, a happy new year to everyone. A happy and productive year to all of us, beginning with this very important and historical project. I'm very happy this morning that we're joined by President-elect Surang Whips Jr. and members of our Congress, National Congress, Delegate Mengur Ulul and Senator Inabo, as well as our ministers, Obi Ang and Minister Tinar Ur and Minister Sadang. I also recognize the presence of Mr. Keopal Sakuma and all the BSCC staff here. You know, it's not every day that we get to meet in a room with our development partners, representatives, respectfully the ambassadors. But we are able to do this because we're COVID-free. And that's an important thing to always start any meeting, to recognize the fact that we're very fortunate. Also fortunate because we have also worked with our development partners in getting Palau to this very fortunate situation. So that's something I do want to recognize right off the bat, because the new norm is that we'll be talking to our friends from Japan via virtual, but here in Palau we can afford to really mingle and face each other, and that's really a blessing that we all should be grateful for. But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all of us, especially the people of Palau with the President-elect in our National Congress, I thank you all for your attendance this morning as we gather to mark a major milestone in our national development. These Palawan Islands are very remote. They always have been and they always will be. But over the last few generations, the Palawan people have still managed to grow very close and very connected with the rest of the world. There is no turning back from this interconnectedness. And when we connected to the C-US submarine cable in 2017, we took things to a new level. We established modern high-speed internet access and opened up a world of possibility. As submarine cable service went live, Palau's internet use increased tenfold. Business, government, education, and even family life quickly changed to take advantage of our new access. This access made Palau attractive to new industries and opened the door to new investments. However, new connectivity also brought new vulnerability. Damage to our one cable would bring incredible disruption to life throughout our country. And lack of resiliency has also been an obstacle to development. Good investors look for safe investments, and relying on a single cable is not a safe bet for high-tech industries. We are resolving that issue through this partnership and clearing the way for valuable economic development. But of course, redundancy is not the only thing we need. This second cable will bolster our systems against natural threats, but we must bolster them from human threats as well. This valuable cable infrastructure must come hand in hand with a renewed commitment to secure communications. Palau is committed to build a clean domestic network and to contribute to an international clean network as well. We are fortunate to have like-minded national partners around the world. More than 50 countries, including Australia, Japan, and the United States, have already committed to the clean network concept, and Palau is proud to join this coalition. As we enter a new era of resilient networks, let us also enter into a new era of clean networks as well. When you look at it that way, this is more than an infrastructure project. It is a secure communication initiative which will bind the people of our four countries to each other for many years to come. Palau is indeed grateful to its partners, and I am grateful to each of you who have come to represent those partners today. Kompmal Masulang, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. That concludes our program for this morning. We will just do the signing and then have a group photo outside, and then some refreshments.
Sign.
Tirigel mo signer tel agreement tangaringi president atang akal president mi mo South Junior ngaringi ambassador Australia so kan mo kortan klel Michelle Turner ma direct ngaringi minister finance rigi del elbu sadang ma treasurer tel Pelau Submarine Cable Corporation el Mr. Eric Whips trigidi dia mo sign
Tigil representative agel tigil partners sergida tel fiber optic cable project le finance tigil fiber optic cable man sabe lamo laurio rangi maki man mereng asuni no sabi lo orang se witness tigil signing ceremony el girel tel second fiber optic cable mas sabe lamo laurio rangi Egemot mal mereng asuliu la subi loreng setial program relan suelo. Ega medlut ma regular program rekit.
In